It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
Well, here we are inside the patch, 1430 ESPN. I've got Brian Noe here, and we are 2-5. The Raiders are 2-5, and this is the Valley's own Raider fan show. And Brian, as we prepared for today's program, I was scouring the facts, and there are no numbers that I want to recite from the game. There's nothing there. We lost 24-0. Goose egg.
Yeah. I could see why you would like to forego the statistical breakdown of the 24-0 beatdown at the hands of the Saints, who were 2-4 heading into that one. So I can understand how you'd like to just bypass Devontae Adams' stat line or lack thereof, and let's just move forward here.
But isn't it funny when you're on a winning streak how much you want to hear every stat? Like everything. Like the weirdest thing, like, it's the first time the quarterback's ever done that in the history of quarterbacking. I don't know.
Yeah. When you think out loud, you kind of just want to move on.
well, every single game that we've talked about this year has been, hey, we're in it. We were in it one play, one series. Not this week. And this week, we made it very clear that we had no business being on the field there. No business.
That's a good point. And really, it shows you how you got to close out the games that you are in, because it snowballs real fast in the NFL. You go all the way back to week 1. They were in it against the Chargers. 3 interceptions by Derek Carr. They lose a close one. They're in it against the Cardinals. They had a huge lead. They're up by basically 3 touchdowns and find a way to lose that game in overtime. Against the Titans, horrible start, but they're in it at the end.
Right.
Can't close the deal like the Giants did. Remember the Giants beat them with the Saquon Barkley 2-point conversion in week 1? Raiders are right there. They just couldn't close the deal like the Giants did. The Chiefs game, they're right there on the road against KC. Couldn't close the deal, getting field goal range at the end. So you've got 4 games right there, Gnarly. 4 that they could have won any of them. They go over in all of them. And then you get the doors blown off you by the Saints, and you look at your record, and you're like, holy cow, this season has gone to hell real fast.
And I can't put my finger on it because, okay, if you go to YouTube, you can find out that, A, we need a new coach. B, we need a new quarterback. Everybody's panicking. Fire them all. Sell them all. You can't do that. It's not even plausible.
Yeah. It really isn't. And, man, Josh McDaniels. Goodness. And I think this too, Gnarly, where if you go back to some of those losses that we just detailed, you go one by one.
Right.
It's not on Josh McDaniels that Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions against the Chargers in week 1.
Right.
It's really not Josh McDaniels' fault that you melted down against the Arizona Cardinals. Can you put all that on Josh McDaniels? I don't think you can. So I think it's easy to just say, get rid of Josh McDaniels. When you really look at it and you look at the season to this point, when you're pointing the finger and you're placing blame, to put all of it on Josh McDaniels is foolish. It makes no sense.
You can't. The players play. And just like last year when we went on that run for the coach, it was 6-game win streak that we had to have. I believe that was our mantra from last week. Have to have it.
We have to.
You have to. And we didn't. We did not have. We did not have.
We didn't.
we did it. And it's like, think about these players that are getting paid a lot of money, and they're still getting paid a lot of money this year, whether they don't win another game or they win the rest. And it's going to be sad if we go on this streak to win and we can't get in because of things like close games we couldn't win,
Well, I think that – think about the rolling ball. Okay, Gnarly, think about this. We always say we got to get the ball rolling. Just got to get it rolling.
Yeah.
Last year with Rich Bisaccia, it was rolling in the right direction. This year with Josh McDaniels, it's rolling in the wrong direction. Now, again, the wins last year didn't have everything to do with Bisaccia. The losses this year don't have everything to do with McDaniels, but that's often the way it's spun. That's often the way it's talked about. I'm not trying to sell you that Josh McDaniels walks on coaching water. I'm just telling you not everything is his fault.
Well, and that's the thing I think about. Okay, rolling. We rolled right over the severe tire damage, and then we rolled back and popped the ball. And I'm like, what now? We need that green slime to put in the ball and patch it, and then try to get some momentum the other way.
Yeah, I like what you're going with here, because we've all done that, where you rent the car and you're going to take it back and you go over those spikes and they're like, don't back up. Severe tire damage. It's like the Raiders went over that the right way, and they're like, I think we should back up, though. I
don't trust that sign. Yeah, I don't believe it.
Yeah, and pop, the back two tires went out, and we kept backing up. Now the front two tires are going out.
Well, but here's the thing. Now there are tires out there that seal themselves, right? So if we got pushed back in the right direction, it might be able to right the ship. Probably not to win a marathon, probably not to get to the playoffs, maybe, but chances are there's a way to fix this, but I don't know what kind of tires we have. I don't know if we have those special tires.
I hear you. It seems like our tires are discount tires in 2022,
Or the little spare that doesn't even count as a tire. Looks like a training wheel.
One of those is definitely a spare. Absolutely. And here's the thing, though, Gnarly. This is as crazy as it gets, though, in the NFL. I get it. They just got shut out by the Saints.
Right.
24-0. They're 2-5 right now. But you look at the next couple of games. We've talked about this. Jags, Colts, Broncos. Like, if you run the table, you're 500. You get to 500, and I think back to last year, the Bengals. The Bengals were 7-6 before they went on their run and made it all the way to the Super Bowl. So I'm not telling you that the silver and black are going to the bowl. I'm just telling you things can change quickly in the NFL.
Right.
And if you can somehow rattle off a few wins, Jags, Colts, Broncos, that's doable. I mean, the way this season's gone, they might drop all of them or go 1-2.
Right.
If you somehow find a way to run the table, you're 500, and who knows what happens down the stretch.
Well, and I noticed that, the free agency period has ended. Okay. We did nothing. We just, I don't know if we're deer in the headlights frozen, if we don't know what to do, or they're confident that this is a doable team, I mean, even next year, the Super Bowl is in Vegas next year. And I'm not trying to skip this season. I'm just saying maybe this was a 2-year. I don't know. But I know nothing's going to happen if we don't get that momentum back, if we just lay dead.
By the way, how mad are you about the guy and his pinky bet choosing the Raiders not to make the playoffs? And now we're looking at them being 2-5, right?
Yeah. I wonder
Is it not to make the playoffs or not to win the Super Bowl?
Not to win the Super Bowl.
Okay. Oh, no.
But
safe there.
But think about him. He's like, he did not believe any of the headlines that were preached all summer. And he's like, easy. Mm-hmm. And if there is a true one God, he will allow the Raiders to win the Super Bowl just to take that guy's pinky away.
The football God
should
make the Raiders win the Super Bowl. I think that's
just correct. To show him. But then I think, okay, let's break down what the Raiders did right on Sunday.
It's going to be a quick breakdown, I think.
Yeah. I mean, they all had their right jerseys on.
They did. That's true. I didn't see any fines. No fines. Sometimes it happens, Gnarly. You don't have the socks all the way up. Sometimes you don't dress right. Raiders dressed right. That's glossed over. You're right about that.
That could be a potential penalty. I mean, Josh McDaniel did not run on the field at any point to get a coach interference.
DJ Moore, the Carolina Panthers wide receiver, took his helmet off, messed up the game for Carolina. Didn't happen for the Raiders. No helmet penalties. That's something to build on.
Very, very strong on the helmet awareness penalty. Yeah, we're very big on that.
Yeah. And you think about it, they didn't have a whole lot to celebrate, but sometimes you're ticked off and you throw your helmet in disgust. Right. You got shut out. You're the only team that got shut out. No helmets being removed in disgust. That's also a good sign.
Okay, so what about we're on the, 10-yard line into the game. We could have kicked a field goal to avoid the goose egg. But they went for the touchdown, which in a way I feel like, you know what? Yeah. Are we going to field goal our way out of this goose egg?
No.
Or we're going to get a touchdown?
Yeah.
Or, it's like, here you go. You deserve this.
Yeah.
Take your punishment.
They absolutely did the right thing. I hate those weasel teams that are like, let's just avoid the shutout and kick a field goal. That is so bad. I'd much rather have the shutout in that situation than kick a field goal like that. That's even worse.
But okay, as we do this show, we are on till the end of the year. We're on if we don't win another game. And I still am trying to – I do feel like the Raiders represent something here in the San Joaquin Valley. It's something that Fresno State pulled off this miraculous comeback, right, on Saturday. And I thought, oh, my gosh, that's going to be us tomorrow. And I just was like so happy. And then I guess I'm not going to like kick the cat, break the window. That's not me. But I'm upset. It physically upset me,
Okay, so a couple of things. At what stage did you realize the great comeback is not happening? Because for a while, if you're thinking, hey, the great comeback, it's going to happen 2 days in a row. Happens with Fresno State, happens with the Raiders. At what point did you say, oh, gosh, that's not going to be a thing today?
I thought, okay, we pick a half. We're either good the first half or we're good the second half. And so middle of the third quarter, when I realized we can't stop them, we think it's first play, 8 yards, second play, first down, and Tatham Hill just, I love to watch him pick on other people, but not my team.
I know. When he's picking on your team, you hate his guts.
And you're like,
but when he's picking on another team, it's like, that's pretty impressive.
It's interesting. But it's like we had no answer for anything. And then if we did have a glimmer of, we picked it off or whatever, we get out there and we're 3 and out. And it's hard to blame Carr when one step back, a guy's in your face. Right. A large gentleman is coming at you. I
thought Cameron Jordan was going to do like his sack dance. It's kind of like a false start penalty. I thought he was going to do a sack dance while in the process of sacking Derek Carr.
That's his new move. He actually does the dance to escape. He doesn't bull rush him. He dance rushes him. He comes in with the best sack move ever.
Remember Reggie White with the club move? He would just club a guy over. I like Cameron Jordan with the aerial false start penalty.
Yes.
Does it kind of like the boxers, how they do the
Yeah.
That's how he does it. He just does it with the offensive lineman's head, gets right around him.
Kind of a Bee Gees kind of staying alive thing too, I'm sure he's singing while he's doing it. Or he's yelling, "Where's my car? Dude, where's my car? It's right there. That's where I parked it."
Isn't that amazing, though? It does show you how much offensive line play matters. This isn't a great revelation. We all know this.
Right.
Man, it was the reminder of reminders last Sunday. Devontae Adams, 1 catch for 3 yards. What? But it shows there's no time. You got to block these big, angry guys that are fast and trying to plant Carr into the turf. They didn't do that.
We tried doing a end around with Devontae, which I don't understand that because he's a guy you don't want to get hurt. He doesn't have tremendous speed. He's not like Tyreek Hill. His is all about precision routes and knowing how to get not tackled. That's his thing. And to send him on a end around, chancing that the defensive end is just going to plow him.
Yeah.
It was like they were at a slow dance at a dance hall. The defensive end had him in his grasp like, they're sharing a moment of slow dance. It was that bad. It was like, wow. Wow.
It was bad. It's one of those where I forget the league. There's some sort of indoor football league. Terrell Owens has been a part of it. Johnny Manziel was part of it. And the fans call the plays. And I really feel like the game on Sunday, Josh McDaniels would want to say, oh, you think you can do a better job?
Go ahead.
You call the plays. You go ahead and come up with something you think's going to work, because I'm here to tell you it's not gonna. It's just not in the cards.
Well, and another thing, they never said this. Like Dennis Allen acted like he didn't care about the game. But Alvin Kamara preached a whole nother message and said, oh, no, this has been on his radar for 7 years. Or, you know, and this was his chance to say, you should have never got rid of me.
Yes. And
I mean,
look, that's happened before. It happened with Mike Shanahan.
Yeah.
It's happened with other coaches that they think they got done wrong by the Raiders, and some of them had been done wrong. And you talk about, what is it? Hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned.
Yes,
we need to add a little addendum to that. Or
like a coach fired.
Yes, hell hath no fury, like a former Raiders head coach who was done wrong by a previous team owner, right? Like, it's a little wordy, but it's happened time and time again.
I have been let go by radio stations, which is hard to believe because I'm such a good employee.
Wow.
But then when I work against them, I want nothing more than to destroy them.
Yes.
To make them go, man, that was maybe a bad idea to get rid of him.
Oh,
you know?
100%. I transferred high schools, you know, and so when I played my ex team, I just wanted to give them the business. You know what I mean? Like, so everybody feels like that. So for Dennis Allen, I totally understand him feeling like that.
You know, we've been on the other end of this before, not in a coaching way, but it was a Monday Night Football, Green Bay versus the Raiders. Brett Favre's dad dies. He dies like the day before. They don't know if Brett's going to play. And Brett dedicates the game to his father and threw like, I want to say 22 touchdowns. It was like, but ridiculous, like not looking, throw it downfield. And it was just like his father was there with him. And, you know, I just, at some point, I experienced once, it was the day after Desert Storm, Buffalo Bills, Oakland Raiders, playoffs, wildcard playoff. We lose 53-3. And I was like, oh my gosh. Now I have the Saints game is added to my list of games I don't ever want to think about. But
I can see why.
I remember more of those.
What was it, like Netflix? It's in your cube.
Yep.
That game's not going to be in your cube.
Yeah. Well, no, the thing is, it does. It pops up now. It's like golfing, you know, when you have a club that you know you've hit really well, and that they tell you, think of the best shot you ever made with that club before you swing. Instead, where do we go? Remember that time I just smashed it into the water or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's nature. So now here we are. So what do? Do we chuck the season away? Do we just say, take it apart, rip it apart? These guys are pros. You know, and if anything, they're playing for their next job, or they want to show some, what do you call it? What is it? Is it guts?
Some gusto.
Gusto. Some gumption. Gumption. Gusto. What a gravel. It's one of these G words that work.
I hate to say this because this is the worst scenario, and it seems to be taking shape for the Raiders in 2022. They're not good enough to get to the playoffs and make noise. And they're not bad enough to bottom out and to have one of the top draft picks. They're going to be somewhere in that middle ground where they're going to have a pick that's outside the top 10 probably. Right? And you're just like, oh, gosh, we have the 13th overall pick where it's like, I'd rather be in the top 5 of the draft or in the playoffs. And I don't think either is going to happen this season.
The old tank for Tua type thing, or you know, and then I don't want to be a part of that either. But then I notice a lot of people are saying Raiders are going to get this young quarterback via the draft, whoever that might, the guy from Tennessee, maybe whoever they think. And then for Devontae Adams, you think he came here to be with his buddy. And if his buddy's not there, well, you got this new guy. But, I mean, time and time again, Adams has said, I did not come here just for Derek. I came here for a lot of reasons.
Man, it's funny with Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. So they are a football couple that should have remained together.
Yep.
They are better together than they are apart.
They got separated, and nobody knows. They're just not good apart.
Man, I'm surprised it's been this bad for both. It's been worse for Aaron Rodgers than it has for Davante. But look, Davante's gone from a 13-4 season to 2-5. The Raiders have lost more games already than the Packers did last season.
Now, would Green Bay, if he would have stayed, would that have changed the Green Bay season?
Absolutely. 100%.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree too.
Yeah, they're too good together. They were dynamic together. Look, Derek Carr, he's no slouch quarterback, but he didn't have all these years in the NFL together. Like Aaron Rodgers could scratch his left nostril, and Davante Adams is like, "Oh, you want me to run the out pattern?" Or what? They know what each other is thinking.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not looking for excuses, but maybe you don't build a Taco Bell in your house the first year. I mean, there's gotta be some blame there on. The food.
I think you're onto something. You're onto something here because it happened in the NBA.
Yeah.
So the Minnesota Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns, he was talking about Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, former number 1 overall pick. They said, I don't like him talking about Popeyes and eating all of this junk food. And so, maybe this is what's happening with Davante Adams and the Taco Bell,
Make a run to the border. Then pretty soon, I don't know if I could resist. If I have no Taco Bells right down the hall, it's 11:30.
Oh.
I think I might want a quesadilla.
I would want 3 crunchy tacos and a Mountain Dew all day.
Exactly.
So I'm awake until 5 a.m. at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you roll in and act like everything's okay, but secretly you've been Taco Belling all night. Okay, I think you found it.
Maybe that's it. This is what we get. What has destroyed the 2022 Raiders is not Josh McDaniels. It's Taco Bell. That's what's done it.
It's not a lack of TDs. It's a gain of TB, and that's what it is. I think we've cracked the case.
I think you're totally onto something here. So Josh McDaniels, he doesn't need to get fired just yet,
right?
And they're really not going to because it would be a monstrous buyout. And that's not going to happen, not yet at least. We need to fire Taco Bell. We need to fire that franchise. At least get it out of Davante Adams' home.
Or maybe go back to that Fresca healthier option menu. It could just be that.
By the way, did the entire Raiders offensive line go to Davante's house and eat Taco Bell before the Saints game? Is that what happened?
I think they volunteered to pick him up, and he doesn't realize while he's in the back room showering, the line's just filling it up.
That's what it was. That's why they were so slow out of their stances. And,
yeah. I mean, a couple taco. Just the box one is the problem. It's the big box. You get the Dorito taco.
Yeah.
And that invention of a flying saucer with meat in it.
You know what else? Freaking chalupas. You talk about not getting out of your stance quickly enough. Traces right back to a chalupa every time.
Have you heard some of the calls Carr makes, some of his audibles? Chalupa. And all the linemen give one of those. And it's like, he knows. And Carr would know. All 6 of them are in a 3-point stand in front of him. Yeah. You know there's some residue. So
you're onto something here because, what was it, Jacoby Brissett on Monday night was like, almost got you 55, where he went for a hard count. With Carr, he's like, nachos and cheese, chalupa, like every audible. It's freaking Taco Bell. I'm glad we cracked the case.
I think we have cracked the case. And so maybe if we could get them to vow to keep the T-Bell down, maybe DeMonte just closes during the week. You're only open on Friday and Saturdays. Well, no, because we don't want to meet on Saturday.
No.
Weekends
it's only close. Yeah. It's only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's it.
Thursday,
we're business,
I think let's try that. Let's see if we can get them to pass that,
I think that's what needs to happen. I absolutely do.
Well, Brian, I think we figured it out. Thank you so much. It means so much to me that we found the truth.
So we talked about the tattoo last week on the forearms. We have to. Now, no Taco Bell.
Yeah. We got to take away.
Season, that needs to be the artwork.
We got to take away. It's now punishment time.
Yeah.
Make
a run for the gym. No more for the border, for the gym.
Make a run from the border to the gym. There it is. We got it figured out. Brian, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And no Taco Bell. That means you guys too out there. We're done. After Thursday, there's no T-Bell. All right?
That's right.
And we did lose
a couple more months to go. We can do it.
We did lose a sponsor this week of Taco Bell, but that's okay. All right. There it is.
Whatever. The Raiders season will be better.
That's right. It's Inside the Patch. Thank you very much.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas Raiders.